Now, as far as the sexual violence that Trump is known for, and more of his staff is known for, sexual violence. Let's drop the fucking word abuse. Let's get rid of that, okay? It's violence. Well, here's a guy named Tim Nolan. Tim Nolan. He's a Tea Party leader and a good Christian, and the former Trump campaign chair in Campbell County, Kentucky, which is right across the Ohio River from Cincinnati. He has just been sentenced to 20 years in prison for human trafficking. According to Cincinnati.com, this piece of shit, he's a former judge, a Christian, a Republican, a Tea Party leader, and a Trump campaign chair. He pleaded guilty of using drugs and threats of arrest to force women and girls under the age of 18 into sex acts. A Christian white male, Tea Party leader, Trump campaign chairperson, Republican, right-winger, judge, threatening women and girls, do what I tell you or I'll have you arrested. He pleaded guilty to 21 of the counts against him for crimes committed dating back 15 fucking years, this guy. That's before the Tea Party. This piece of human trash accepted a plea deal where he'll serve 20 years in prison. That means the rest of his life. He's 71 fucking years old. And pay $100,000 in fines. But he will become eligible for parole in 4 years. If he lives that long. A number of the incidents occurred in the summer of 2016 while Judge Nolan was serving as the chair of Donald Trump campaign in Campbell County, Kentucky. Oh, and by the way, just before he was indicted, he was elected to the Campbell County, Kentucky School Board in 2016. According to a report read by Judge Kathleen Lape, this piece of shit, Tim Nolan, white, male, judge, Christian, teabagger, Trump chairperson, this piece of trash paid some of his victims with heroin and painkillers, OxyContin, one imagines, in exchange for sex, and threatened at least one victim who lived on his property in southern Campbell County with eviction unless she gave him a blowjob. Sorry for the language, but that's what the judge read in court. Additionally, Judge Nolan told some of his victims, some of whom under the age of 18, that he would turn them into the FBI if they didn't comply with his demands. He had faced more than 100 years in prison and on 28 felony charges, including 4 counts of human trafficking of a minor. There is something about men who support Trump that is evil. E-V-I-L, evil, vile, which is another way of spelling evil. Filthy, disgusting, twisted, psychopathic. But this Judge Nolan just like Judge Roy Moore. I mean, these are fucking judges, school board members, Christians, white people, males, conservative, teabag leaders, racist pigs, raping children. Jesus Christ Almighty! I mean, it's just difficult to read this kind of stuff and even bring it to this podcast. I mean, some of the language that I use on this podcast, other than the cussing, who cares about the cussing? But some of the descriptive language that I use in order to give you the full impact of the shit that I'm reading that's out there in online, popular press. I'm not talking about weird websites. I'm talking about Raw Story. I'm talking about Salon. I'm talking about Times and Post and Common Dreams and Truth Out, standard reporting. And in order, I read this stuff and I go, Jesus, God, this can't be. This can't be. But it is. So if I'm going to talk about it on this podcast, you're going to hear the language and the descriptive terms that are used when this filth is sentenced.